So today, as Bianca said, we're going to talk about retargeting, and we're going to try to give you some tips to unlock your app potentials. I'm Marianne Clerc. I'm working at Adikteev as a performance director. And just to give you some words about Adikteev, we are an app retargeting platform, and we help our clients to make the most of their app and grow the revenue on it. What about you, Hanna? Maybe you can introduce yourself.
So I'm Hanna. I work at Playtika. I've been doing online marketing for a few years now, and about a year and a half ago, I joined Playtika in the retargeting team.
Cool. Ben?
Yeah, Benjamin Burgess. I'm with Life360. We are a location sharing app, global app, 50 million users. I've been with Life360 for about 18 months. Prior to that, I was with AccuWeather, and so retargeting is pretty important to our user base.
Cool. Maybe you can give us some context about retargeting. So what's retargeting for you guys? What are the main challenges and aim that you're facing?
Of course. So first of all, for those who don't know, Playtika is one of the biggest game developers in the industry. We have a very diverse portfolio of games. We do social casino and casual and just a lot of different types of games. I think at Playtika, we look at marketing in a holistic way. And while we understand that UA is very important and we need to attract new users, it's also crucial to invest in retargeting and make sure that we bring back those users that maybe left our game, and ideally even prevent them from churning. So it's super important for us to invest in retargeting, invest in the user engagement, the user experience, improve that retention and revenue. And one of the biggest challenges that we're facing, and I think that everyone will agree in this, is the whole issue with privacy, and that we don't know where this is going in the future. Especially in retargeting, we really want to bring back those high quality users. And in a world that we have less and less data to do that, it's becoming very challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yes. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, for Life360, we have two main points that we focus on. We have a very cumbersome, I think that's the right word to use, cumbersome onboarding process. So we leave a lot of installs that don't convert to registration. Basically, we pretty much ask for your firstborn child when you onboard with us. So there's a lot left on the table, and that's, with the numbers that we're dealing with, it's significant. So that's our first one, is basically that install to reg point there. And then the second one, we're a free app, and while the vast majority of our users use our free location services, we have a premium service that pays the bills for us. And identifying the users, those power users, who are likely to trial and then to become subscribers is key for us. So it's basically those two, that onboarding stop with the installs to reg, and then the getting to free to trial.
Yeah, exactly. And as you mentioned, it's very key. So as a first step in retargeting campaign, it's key to understand your audience and to define it well. So maybe you can help us understand how you define your audience well, what worked well for you, maybe?
Yeah, so the easy answer is focus on your power users. I've worked in departments where I'm the user engagement, I'm the lifecycle marketing, I'm the growth, I'm the organic and paid, and I've worked with teams where it's like I have a lifecycle market team, I have a growth team, so I understand both sides. But when you wear many hats and where you have only one hat, but still, it's important that you understand your user base, understand what those actions are, in-app actions are that lead to those key events. So, for example, I have to work with my lifecycle marketing team. I have to work with my product team, understanding user behavior, understanding the key indicators that show me like if this user completes these three actions, they're likely to become a power user. They're likely to take advantage of paid features. We have, again, millions of users that just look at location sharing, and they're not in that same boat for us. So for the simple answer for me is defining the right audience is really talking with your teams, working with the product team, working with that lifecycle marketing team, and understanding. It's really easy to work in silos. I deal with that. We're a remote first company, and it's outside of just dealing with the people I deal with day to day, it's really easy to not be in conversations with product and lifecycle marketing.
Yeah, true. What about you, Anna?
So for us, I think the key is segmentation. First of all, we always separate the audience into paying and non-paying users. We understand that the behavior is completely different, so it doesn't make sense to target them in the same way. And we're very lucky that we have our own BI tool that allows us to segment our users in any way we want. Basically, we have 1 million parameters that we can use. And aside from segmenting the audiences, it also allows us to get insights on their journey, on their behavior, on the user experience, and then we can make decisions based on that. That said, I think it's important to remember that I don't think there's such a thing as the right audience. Like, no one has the magic recipe for what works best. Like, I wish we did. It would make things a lot easier. But the key is to keep testing things, to keep checking new audiences, always be very, very, very dynamic, and adapt to the changes that we're seeing. I think that's very important. And for us, something that we have been seeing that works very well, it's to do treatment campaigns. For those that don't know what that is, we basically use a gift inside the game to attract the users, to make them come back. So for that, especially, it's very important to find also the right audience, but also the right gift that will make them come back and continue to play the game. So we have to find that sweet spot in between. And yeah, aside from finding like the right audience, the right gift and everything, it's key to find the right creative, because a good audience without a good creative does nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe you can share with us what have worked well for Playtika and how Adikteev actually helped you to went through it.
Of course. So first of all, we have a very, very big focus on creative at Playtika. We are always testing new concepts. We're always making iterations. We're always trying to find the next top performing creative for us. And there's something that we see. We look at it as an ongoing process all the time. We're never satisfied. We're never happy. We always try to make it better and improve the results. We also try to keep a very diverse portfolio. It's important for us to keep doing banners and videos and cinemagraphs. And actually, lately we have been starting experiencing with playables that you guys are helping with. So it's I'm very excited about that. I think there's a lot of potential. And yeah, I think also a key is like to run a lot of tests, a lot of analysis. Like you guys also help with that, with like creative benchmarks to help us understand where we stand in terms of like our competitors and in the industry. And yeah, like always trying to improve. And the key, I think, is testing all the time.
Learning, testing,
learning. I think in retargeting, what we see that works really good, though, it's appealing directly to the user. So we want to make them feel that we're talking to them personally. So messaging like, we missed you, come back. We haven't seen you in a while.
You can even test the call to action.
Exactly. We have to find like the right call to action. And also showing new features in the game is also something that we have seen that works really well for us.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you, Ben?
I mean, totally echo what she's saying regarding, testing, iterating on those testing, basically dive into your data, understand it. I would add to it also is match your voice with your lifecycle marketing team. Know what your lifecycle marketing team is sending out there, what they've got going out both in-app and also in email, and make sure you're basically sending the same messages or you're matching that message so it doesn't feel like a completely different experience. I mean, it's basic landing page 101, right? I mean, you want to make sure you match the message of what you're sending out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, agree. So then when you launch a campaign, you must be prepared, obviously. So what do you think would be great to do before launching a retargeting campaign, during, after? What kind of analysis can help you to better understand the whole targeting program?
So the first thing that we do always before we start a retargeting campaign, it's an uplift test. We do a test control. We want to understand properly what impact our campaigns are doing and what's the added value of running a retargeting activity. This is something that we do also before, and it helps us understand like what audiences we should be targeting in terms of recency, for example. But we also do it during the campaign and during the activity. we're always checking ourselves. We're always trying to make things better. And we understand that the industry is very dynamic and it keeps changing. So we have to be on top of things, and we have to keep making sure that our campaigns are bringing that added value and that uplift that we were seeing in the beginning. Aside from that, obviously, like checking performance, KPIs, campaign reporting, all
Any
of that, like
benchmarks,
trends.
maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Like we check trends and like on a daily basis. And we also started doing like a lot of audience auditing with you guys. Actually, we received like audience overlap reports, and that allows us to make decisions in terms of our audiences. And you guys suggest a lot of new ways to set up the campaigns, to organize it so we can improve the campaigns, and we have been seeing great results with that. So I think it's very important also to test, like, see where we stand in terms of like our audiences, especially in retargeting, where we see that the audiences are much smaller than in UA. And yeah, and then creative analysis, of course, all the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you, Ben?
Yeah, I totally agree. The only thing I would add to that is I'm a big advocate of doing your homework, but just also in the user journey. I mean, a lot of us when we come into a company, we download the app, we onboard with the app, and then we engage with the app at time to time, some more than others. But I would advocate log out, go back into the process, see what the choke points are, familiarize yourself with that onboarding process. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people in the marketing department that they don't remember what we ask for. They don't remember what the pain points might be. And if you aren't familiar with that, you're not going to resolve any issues. You're not going to understand what those users are doing. I mean, I think I had this conversation last week at an offsite, and it was like, yeah, when we asked for the phone number and the email and the password and then the Bluetooth and then the health tracker, they're like, we asked for the health tracker. It's like, yeah, we asked for everything. We asked for everything. And it's a surprise. They just don't know. So doing that homework, knowing your choke points, understanding the onboarding process inside and out, and reviewing it, going back to it, because the product team will change stuff and they're not always sending a message out to marketing saying, hey, we've updated this. Like, you need to know inside and out and be familiar with it. And that I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Now, if you have to share with us what are the main components of a successful retargeting campaign, what would it be?
Successful. I'll go first on this because we are onboarding right now. While I've done retargeting in the past, I mean, it's my simple answer is like converted users, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I would say right now we're onboarding, and I have my own list of things, but I would lean on my partner to help me analyze that data. But I'll let you go.
So first of all, similar to what Ben was saying, it's very important to work closely with the game studio and understand what the pain points are, so we can really support them and make an impact with the activity. Then also what we were talking about before, like audiences, it's super important to find the right audience, super important to find the right creative, and then following up performance all the time, not only in terms of KPIs, but also in terms of audience audits and campaign reporting and creative analysis. And I think it's always like trying to test and check yourselves. And as I was saying, like the key for us is to be agile and dynamic and understand that we need to make decisions based on data-driven insights. So we're always looking into that. And that's why it's so important for us also to find good retargeting partners to work with.
Yeah. And so what's the most important thing then to choose a retargeting partner?
So obviously the first most important thing is results. We want to work with someone that delivers and that we see good performance. But aside from that, two huge pillars for us are trust and communication. So first of all, we want to have an open line of communication with our partner. We want to know that there's transparency. And second of all, we want to know that we can trust them. We manage a lot of titles, we manage a lot of activities, a lot of channels. So I want to be able to step back, know that we can trust your judgment, know that you're going to come with suggestions when you think that something is not done in the best way. So I think that's why we enjoyed working with you so much, because we see like all of that, and we see that there's this trust and there's this great line of communication. And that allows us to develop a relationship that goes beyond just being partners. And I think we understand that for us, we have the same goal and we are working together, not against each other.
Yeah.
And that allows us to achieve great things, to get better results, and just improve our performance all the time together.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're all human beings, so
Yeah.
it's nice to get along. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben?
I think this is a great question only because it's like, so now that we're dating, what do you like so much about us? So I think what I would say for me, what it came down to was, you know, I did homework. I went and talked to my MMP. I kind of got a referral from them, like top retargeting partners. I reached out to different retargeting partners. I asked the questions. The number one thing for me is customer success. Do you have a customer success team? Because I need someone on my side who's going to help me basically get this running, make it successful, find out what they're doing there. Outside of that, I also would want to know, like, what innovation are you doing? Like, is it just standard, status quo, or what are you trying to do? What are you building upon? How can we take advantage of that? What can we do at the ground level and get in on that early? And then lastly, I would talk to your network. I mean, that's why you're at MAU, right? You're here to talk to people who are like-minded, who are experiencing same pain points. Talk to them, find out who they have used in the past, find out what they liked about it and what they didn't like. Ask the questions about, I mean, for all not just retargeting, but DSPs and various different services out there. Don't just talk to the company, but talk to your network about it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing all those insights.